I'm Caroline Land, and welcome back to EPL's Overdue Finds.
Caroline, how are you today?
I'm doing really well, Bryce. How are you?
I'm excellent because we have a really fun episode today, and I really think I think everybody's going to enjoy every episode. This episode in particular, though, it's been one that we've talked about doing for quite a while, actually. We've had this ongoing list of different episode ideas, and this one just keeps coming up, and we're like, let's actually do this now. It's summer, kids are out of school, they can adjust around our quirky record times. So today we're bringing back the Pop Culture Confession series, but of course it's with kids.
Yes. It was really, really interesting. So we had 4 interviews altogether. Today you're going to hear 2 of them. And we interviewed a bunch of kids just about what they're into for movies, what they're listening to, what they're playing, what they like to do in the summer. And I was just blown away by the answers we got.
Yeah, it was really interesting. I don't have any kids. I know, Caroline, you don't either. So it's, and especially for somebody like myself who I work behind a computer all day. So at least you're out in the library, Caroline.
Yeah.
So you see kind of what, kids are really enjoying. But for myself anyway, it was really neat to know that, hey, kids still like Super Mario Brothers and Pokemon's still popular and that all that stuff. Yeah. So we're going to you're going to hear 2 interviews today. Mm-hmm. The first one is with Luka, who's 6, and Ofelia, who's 10. Mm-hmm. And quick spoiler alert, Luka probably gives my all-time favorite Overdue Finds answer.
Yeah, that was a very, very good moment in the recording.
It was, yeah. And then our second interview, we have Jovan, mm-hmm. Gaby, and Isabella, and they also bring up some... Actually, Jovan has a great dry sense of humor.
Yes.
So yeah, he has a really good response about Harry Potter that we'll touch on after that interview's over.
And for the second interview, I'm just going to do a spoiler warning because here are some of the things. I think it's a complete list. There are spoilers for Land of Stories, Harry Potter, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man Homecoming, and Maleficent. So if you're waiting to watch or read any of those, you're now warned that we go in depth on those topics.
Definitely. So without further ado, we present to you our first interview. Welcome to the very first interview that we're doing for our Kids Pop Culture Confessions episode. Caroline, are you excited as I am?
I'm so excited. I cannot wait to ask all the questions we have because we have 2 very special guests here today.
Yeah, we always share our opinions, but
yeah.
I think today we're going to leave those opinions up to the experts.
Yeah.
So let's let our guests introduce themselves.
I'm Luka, and I'm 6.
I'm Ofelia, and I'm 10.
Thank you so much for both of you for joining us today, taking a break out of what I'm sure is a very busy summer schedule that you have.
Yeah.
And before we get started, do you have any family or friends that you want to say hi to that might be listening to the podcast?
No, thank you.
No?
You'll catch up with them later.
All right. So before we your opinions on some of your favorite movies and books and everything.
Yeah.
One thing that we always ask of our guests on the show is for them to share maybe their own overdue find pick. So, Ofelia, do you have maybe a recent movie or book or video game that you've played that you think all of the listeners should maybe check out?
Playing Let's Go Eevee.
Okay, so what is that?
It's a game where you're this character. My character is named Violet. You have an Eevee or a Pikachu, but I have the Eevee. And then you do you fight different gym battles and catch different Pokemon. You can also send Pokemon from your Pokemon Go account to your Nintendo Switch.
Oh, okay. I think I've seen commercials for that. So that's a game that you would recommend for everybody to play? Yeah. Nice. Luka, how about you?
So I would recommend that everybody should look at Dogman #1. It's so good.
So I've seen Dogman out in the library. Can you explain to the listeners who Dogman is and why it's so good?
Who Dogman is? So it's just this cop that got hurt in an explosion, and he had a dog, and then both of them just got exploded, and then they went to the hospital, and then they cut the dog's head off, and then they sewed it into the cop's body, and then it became a hero. And my favorite part was when Dogman just peed on the floor.
That would be very funny, I would think.
Yeah, it sounds really funny. I don't know, Caroline. I don't know about you, but I might have to grab a copy of Dogman on the way out.
Well, regular listeners of Overdue Finds might remember that Bryce was recently in a very serious slide-based accident that resulted in him going to the emergency room. So, he was probably like this close to getting his head switched with some kind of animal.
Probably very close.
Yeah.
My wife Cheryl probably would maybe prefer that, but that's okay.
I don't know. Okay, Dogman. We'll definitely have to check that out.
Yes, definitely.
So, Luka, your mom, when we were talking to her, she let us know that you're a big fan of Beyblades. Yeah, now some people might not know what that is. Could you tell us a little bit about Beyblades?
So they're basically this toy, and they're in episodes and stuff. So they have 3 parts. They have a top.
Okay.
And each one is different.
Okay.
They have a middle. Each one is different too. And they have a tip. They can have whatever kind of tip.
Okay. So this is a toy?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's also in the episodes.
Oh, on the episodes, right.
Yes.
So do you have lots of Beyblades yourself at home then?
Well, I have 3.
That sounds like a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you play Beyblades with other friends or kids at school?
Well, we're not allowed at school, but sometimes I do it with my friends. Sometimes.
See, I thought before we started recording this that Beyblades were just a toy, and I didn't realize that there's a cartoon, right? Do you have maybe favorite episodes of Beyblades that you could recommend?
So there's this guy named Shu, and he transformed to this guy named Red Eye, and then he won this sort of tank thingy, and then he got this new bay called Surprising Requiem.
Okay.
I think I would probably have to watch that a couple times to figure out
so.
everything that was going on, but it sounds like you know your stuff.
So I think if we do a future episode just on Beyblades, definitely Luka will get the invitation back to come come chat with us about that.
Yeah.
So Ofelia, your dad mentioned that you love reading books, and I'm sure you've been doing a lot of reading this summer. I know actually, are you participating in our summer reading club right now?
Yeah.
Nice. So he mentioned that you like reading books like The Babysitter's Club and Archie Comics. Do you have any other books that you could recommend to listeners?
I also really like Brianna Tegelmaier's other books. Sisters and Smile and Drama and Ghosts.
Okay.
I like drama because I love theater and stuff like that.
Do you have a favorite play that you've been to or musical?
Well, I've been to a few plays at Christmas time because my friend was in it, so I went to go see her. I've always wanted to be in one, but I've never been in one. Well,
there's lots of time for that.
Yeah, I like Christmas.
So, I've seen A Christmas Carol then?
Yeah, and at a Christmas concert, there's a play about we're all the teachers. So I've been in that twice.
That can be fun to pretend to be people that you know, but in a play.
Your dad also mentioned that you really like the Harry Potter books too.
Yeah.
So have you read the entire series?
We're working on the 7th one.
Okay. Because how many books are there? Is there 7 or 8?
There's 7, but the 8th one's the play.
That's right. You probably are really looking forward to reading that then.
Yeah.
Nice. Have you watched the movies?
I've watched, one time I was at my daycare and we had a choice of watching a show or a movie. And I didn't know what Harry Potter was. I just thought it was a person. I didn't know anything about it. So I went to go watch the show. The show was over, so I came back. And all I saw was this giant troll in the bathroom with Hermione because it was the first book. And I'm like, I'm just going to go somewhere else because I don't know what this is about. And then I watched the 3rd one at my friend's birthday party. So I kind of got to know more what it was after my dad read the books to me. And then I've watched the 5th movie and the 6th movie. I can never watch movies with my mom because I always fall asleep in them.
Yeah. I have that problem too. If I'm at home and I'm watching a movie on the couch, I always tend to fall asleep.
Going back to the Babysitters Club, do you have a favorite member of the Babysitters Club that's your favorite character?
I really like Dawn.
Yeah. Why do you like Dawn?
Well, I kind of like her because she's kind of like my style. Like, we both kind of like natural colors and like...
Yeah, she cares a lot about the environment.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dawn's pretty cool. I like Christy, but she can sometimes be bossy, and I don't like that.
Is Christy like the lead babysitter?
Yeah, it was her great idea.
She's
that
the
found
president.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Actually, on the way here, I was reading the first one.
Yeah,
The first graphic novel.
yeah. I really like Raina Telgemeier. Her art is really cool.
Yeah.
So, Luka, you mentioned a little bit earlier that you're a big fan of the Dogman series. Is there any other books that you might like that you could recommend?
Well, like in the Dogman series,
Dogman
Just
or
anything you
other
like.
books too?
I would like people to watch Dogman Brawl of the Wild.
Okay, so is that a book then? Or is
Yeah,
it okay?
it's a book. There's no movies about Dogman.
How excited would you be if there was a Dogman movie?
Do you think you would go see it?
The first time I heard about it, I would run to the theaters
Yeah.
and watch it.
Nice. So sorry, what was the name of the other Dogman book that you recommended?
There's just Dogman.
Oh, just Dogman. Okay.
Ophelia, we heard that you're a big fan of nerdy nummies, and Bryce and I do not know what this is because we are old. Could you tell us what this is?
It's a show by this girl named Rosanna Pacino, and she does like different baking. Like, she shows you how to bake, and there's also different challenges she does with like her friends and her sister. I just like it because I also like love baking, and I actually like watching the challenges because they're really funny sometimes.
Well, that sounds pretty cool.
So do you what are your favorite things to bake then?
I really like baking like cakes. Me and my friend this weekend, we baked things without eggs or a recipe.
Ooh.
So how did it turn out?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. Have you ever watched the show on Netflix called Nailed It?
Yes, I've watched it.
Yeah? Do you like that show?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's when I bake. It usually turns out like Nailed It, which is for our listeners who might not have seen Nailed It, they try to create fancy cakes, but it usually turns into a mess.
So do you watch a lot of shows? Because this is a YouTube show, right?
Yeah.
Do you watch a lot of other shows on YouTube?
Yeah.
Is there any others that you might recommend?
I like this show called Mr. Kate. There's these two guys. There's Kate and Joey. And they go to people's house and like decorate like a room. And they do it for free. But sometimes they do it on like a budget or something.
Okay. Is it a surprise? Like, do people come
Yeah.
back and they didn't know they were coming?
Well, no, they knew
Oh,
they
they
were
knew
coming,
they were coming.
but they didn't know what it was going to look like.
Oh, so they're just out somewhere and then they come home and
Yeah, and then it's
they're like, whoa,
different.
my bedroom looks different.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. What about you, Luka? Do you like to bake at all?
Not at all.
Not at all.
I don't even know how to bake,
That-
really.
Yeah. Well, it can be complicated.
Luka, can I admit something to you?
What?
I'm in my late 30s and I really don't know how to bake either. So that's okay. There's a lot of us who aren't very good. Luka, when your mom emailed me about you being on the show, she mentioned something about Pokemon and Minecraft. What are your thoughts on Pokemon and Minecraft? Because I heard that you're maybe not the biggest fans of those.
Well, I'm pretty much more into Minecraft than Pokemon.
Oh, okay. So what is it about Minecraft then that maybe you like?
Because in creative, you can fly.
Whoa.
Oh, I didn't know that. I only tried Minecraft once, and it seemed kind of hard to me, so I had no idea that you could fly in that game.
You can. If you're in creative one, you can.
Oh, okay. So what's the difference then between creative mode in Minecraft and just like regular Minecraft?
Well, there's no regular. So creative's regular, and then there's another mode called survival. So you can't fly, and you need to like fight zombies, and there's lots of stuff that you need to do. But I've never been in survival.
Whoa.
You've just been in creative.
Yeah, because creative's a little bit safer.
Okay.
Safer.
Well, and it sounds like you can do cool stuff there, like fly.
Yeah, and you can build stuff while you're flying.
Wait, what?
You can build stuff when you're flying.
What kinds of stuff?
You can build whatever you want.
You can build whatever you want while you're flying.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I don't even think Superman can do that.
I don't think he can either.
What about Pokemon? Do you play Pokemon, or are you like, Pokemon really isn't for me?
Yeah,
You're not a big fan?
not really.
Why is that?
Well, I'm just not that in Pokemon because I was a collector of the cards, but cards don't do that much.
When I was younger, I collected a lot of hockey cards. So it's the same thing. Like, it'd be kind of exciting once you opened up the package of cards, and then after that,
You get all the cards you don't like.
exactly. Sometimes you get doubles, and yeah.
Ophelia, is there anything that you really like that maybe people at school or your friends aren't really as into?
Doctor Who.
Yeah, there isn't a big Doctor Who fan base.
No, it's mostly just me. Most people are into like the other things that are going on. But I just like Doctor Who because I like science. The only other person in my school who watches it is one of the teachers. So
do you talk, after you watch like an episode, do you talk with the teacher then about that episode?
So this has come up on the podcast, I'm pretty sure, before. Neither Bryce nor I have seen Doctor Who. Could you give us a little explanation about what Doctor Who is?
Well, okay, so it's this guy, like, when he dies, he, like, turns into another third doctor.
Okay.
And that doctor, and then he'll die. So there's 13 doctors, and the 13th one is a girl.
Okay.
But all the other ones are boys, and they meet companions on the way, and they fight different monsters and robots.
Okay.
Because I know from the little I do know about Doctor Who.
We have a lot of guests who love Doctor Who.
Yes, pretty much. So when they come on to talk about Doctor Who, Caroline and I are like, we have no idea what's going on. Do you have a favorite Doctor Who? Because I know that there's been, like you said, there's the new one is, I think, the first female Doctor, which is great. Is there any other Doctors that are your favorites?
10th Doctor is my favorite. I don't know why he's my favorite. He just is. David Tennant.
Oh, David Tennant. Okay.
I think I like him because I got a picture with him.
Oh,
you met David Tennant?
Yeah.
Was
I
that
have a picture on my wall.
Wow.
Was that at the Comic Expo here?
Yeah.
Nice. Were you nervous meeting him, or?
I used to love the 9th Doctor. Then my dad said the 9th Doctor wasn't coming, but we were going to go meet the 10th Doctor. And I'm like, why?
Yeah, you're just one off. You were
I'm like,
so
I
close.
want the 9th Doctor. And he's like, well, I already paid for it. So I'm like, okay.
Very practical.
Now I love the 9th Doctor. I used to think the 10th Doctor looked weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, you're probably the only person in your class to have a picture with David Tennant.
Yeah.
So that's pretty special.
Did you get it signed too, or just the picture?
Just the picture.
Nice. Well, still, that's a great keepsake to have. Have that with you always. Then.
Luka, are there any actors or singers that you really like?
Well, I do have like a band that I like. It's called Jonas Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Favorite song from them is Sucker.
I know of the Jonas Brothers, and mostly I think from like who each one is married to.
Yes.
But yeah, I haven't listened to any of their music though.
I have listened to their music. I wouldn't say I'm like a big Jonas Brothers fan. Like they had like very, very passionate fans when they were like first coming up, and they had like their TV show and everything. But I wouldn't say I was that committed, but their music is catchy. Do you like to dance to it?
Of course I do.
Of course.
So what about video games? Because Ofelia, I heard that you're really big into video games. I know earlier you mentioned the Pokemon game for a Nintendo Switch. Are there any other games that you like to play or that you could recommend?
I also love Mario Party because I love board games and there's dice involved. I also like Mario Kart. I do like Mario anything. I also like games on like my DS.
What games on DS do you really like?
There's this game called The Adventures of Starfree. There's this little star guy who like does different adventures, and like you unlock different levels and you can get different like clothes and stuff.
So I have to ask you about Mario Kart because Mario Kart has actually come up on this show a few times. I'm also a really big fan. Who's your favorite character to use in Mario Kart?
I like Rosalina.
Rosalina, okay. Nice. Do you have like a favorite weapon that you can get after you drive over the question mark? Like, is it the red shell or is it the big plant that eats everybody?
Well, we have Mario Kart 8 on our Wii U, and then we have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on our Nintendo Switch. I think my favorite thing is 8 because you get 8 different things.
Oh, that's right.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah, that one's hard to get. I've gotten that a few times, but I'm a big Yoshi person myself. I really like using
My
him.
mom likes Yoshi.
Nice. Luka, how about you? Do you play, besides Minecraft, which I know you enjoy, is there anything else that you like playing?
Mario Odyssey.
Okay.
It's on the Switch.
Yeah,
Nintendo
I've seen clips of that game. I haven't played it yet. So what's
Mario up to?
yeah?
in
What's
that
he up to
game?
in that game?
So there's this little cap guide. So like when you start the game, so there's different kingdoms and each kingdom's a level and you have to complete it. And then myself, because I have my own thing on my Nintendo Switch. So right now I'm on to the Cloud Kingdom. So then that's where Bowser stops. And then you need to fight him. But at the end, Bowser is so strong. But you could become his hat. His hat has like boxer things, and since you're so small, you're like as the size of his shoe, but his hat is super big. So then you just punch him in the wiener.
That would probably be a pretty effective fighting tactic.
Yeah, that typically does work in most cases.
Yeah, life
I can't
skills.
recommend it in real life
Yeah,
at all, but
yeah.
in video games, I can totally see that working out. I've seen clips of it online where Mario's at the beach, and which is kind of weird because typically you don't see like Mario just in his bathing suit in any of the other games.
It's because you get all these different suits.
Oh,
You
there's
can
different
buy-
suits.
There's like this shop and you can buy whatever you want.
Yeah,
But
it's
you
true.
need to have the coin.
Yeah.
Makes sense because that's where you go around and collect in the game.
Yeah. I have never seen Mario in his bathing suit, but I have seen him in that frog suit that he wears.
Oh, yeah,
in
Super Mario 3.
Yeah. That's my favorite Super Mario. You guys haven't played.
Have either of you played like the really old Super Mario Brothers
On my DS.
on your DS? Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think of that game compared to like the newer games?
It's different, but to me, it's not different because I don't play the new Super Marios. So I just think it's just normal.
Yeah, it's just the same
Yeah.
type of stuff that you're doing.
We're almost done here,
Yeah.
and you guys have been amazing. So we're going to do a couple quick, fun roundtable questions. So, Ofelia, I'm going to start with you. If you could meet anyone in the world, anybody at all, who would it be and why?
Well, I've met David Tennant, be Zoe Saldana.
That is an excellent answer. I would love to meet her.
Yes. So why would you like to meet her?
I like her because she plays Gamora, and I like Gamora.
Is she your favorite Guardian of the Galaxy?
Yeah, I also like Groot.
Oh, yeah. Everybody loves Groot.
I like that Zoe Saldana is in the Marvel movies, but she's also in Star Trek movies and in the Avatar movies.
That's right.
So she's got a lot of science fiction movie experience.
If she ever decides to do the Comic Expo route, she could probably really clean up there.
She'd do quite well.
Luka, how about you? If you could meet anybody in the world, who would it be?
It would be Kawhi Leonard.
Oh, yeah.
And who is that?
He's one of the most famous basketball players in the Toronto Raptors, but sadly he transferred to the Clippers.
Oh,
That's right. Yeah, I was heartbroken that day. So my question for you is, are you going to cheer for the Clippers, or are you still going to be a Raptors fan?
Well, I'm going to cheer for both.
Nice.
That's a nice thing to do.
Yeah. All right, so our second question. Let's say you could go away anywhere at all for summer vacation. Ofelia, where would you go?
It's not really it wouldn't be a summer vacation, but I would want to go to New York City.
Okay.
Nice.
And what would you like to do in New York?
Well, I really like going shopping, and I'd want a hotel right in the center.
Yeah.
And they have Broadway there too, so I know you
Yeah.
mentioned you're a big theater fan, so you could go to a Broadway. I've been to New York myself, and I highly recommend it. You should definitely ask your dad. See?
My favorite thing in New York, we went on sightseeing tour on a double-decker bus. And so we rode around in like the upper level of the double-decker bus, and they just drove us around and they pointed out all the things to see, and that was really cool. That's my how to be very clearly a tourist in New York tip. But New York is a fun city.
It is, absolutely. And of course, Statue of Liberty too. It's really fun to go to. So, Luka, if you could go anywhere at all in the world, where are you going to go?
I would go to Los Angeles.
Okay. Is there somebody there in Los Angeles maybe you'd like to meet?
Someone you want to play basketball with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go chill out at Kawhi Leonard's place. I'm sure he probably has a really really cool basketball court set up at his place.
Los Angeles is also where they make movies. So maybe someone would like see you and say, Luka, you have to be in this movie. And then you'd be a big movie star. Would you like that?
Kind of.
Kind of.
It's like, Luka, we're making the Dog Man movie. Would you like to be in it? Be like, yes.
Yeah, could all happen for you.
Absolutely.
In LA. Thank you very much for joining us. I know I have learned a lot. There's some things I'm going to go look up, put on hold here at the library, but it was so good to have you both here to talk to us today. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Hi, Bryce.
We're here for our second set of interviews with kids. We had a blast with the first set. And today we're actually joined by three kids.
3 special guests.
Absolutely, sorry.
Yeah.
Special guests versus just kids.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So let's get started. We'll have them each introduce themselves. So,
My name is Jovan, and I'm 8 years old.
My name is Gaby, and I'm 8 years old too.
My name is Isabella, and I'm 12.
Welcome to the show.
yeah, thanks for joining us today, taking time out of what I'm sure is probably a very busy day of relaxing and enjoying summer holidays.
Yeah, it's very nice of them to give up time during their summer vacation to come talk with us.
Definitely. Before we get started, though, is there anybody you guys would like to say hi to, like friends or family?
Hi, whoever is going to listen to this.
That's very, that captures it.
I'd like to say hi to my friends Grace and Michaela.
And I like to say hi to my cousins, Ava and Ari.
Well, hi, back. Hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully they're enjoying this,
Yeah.
and you guys will be like little mini celebrities with your friends and family. So we're going to get started now, and this is a question that we ask all of our guests on the show. So do you have, Jovan, we're going to start with you. Do you have a recent book that you've read or video game that you played or movie that you've watched that you can recommend for everybody to check out?
Well, I've been reading this series called Land of Stories. It's about these 2 kids that are like in the real world, but there's this magic book that they go into, and they get sucked into the fairy tale world with Cinderella, Snow White, and all of those fairy tales combined, and it makes one big world. There's the Red Riding Hood kingdom, and Red Riding Hood is crowned queen. It's like, then there's the fairy godmother, which is their grandmother, surprisingly.
What?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Spoilers. But so the kids from the real world,
Yes.
their grandmother is who?
The fairy godmother.
Whoa.
That means Cinderella, I think, is their aunt.
Okay.
And then they have a cousin that's Princess Hope. I don't know. It's really complicated.
Well, it sounds interesting.
Yeah,
though.
I would need a little map of
Yeah,
some kind.
there is a map.
Oh, good.
But my mom forgot to bring it, so.
That's okay. But, maps might not work on the podcast
No.
so well, but I'll definitely have to look into that.
It sounds like, too, it's a lot of the public domain characters that they can, they can
add
play
all
around with on
together.
the book.
Yeah.
All right, Gaby, how about you?
I'm reading a series called The Babysitter's Club.
Have you been enjoying it so far? And have you read just one book or a few of them?
I've read all of them because I have all the books.
Oh, wow.
Now, are you reading the graphic novels or the word novels?
The graphic novels.
Very nice.
Caroline is actually a really big Babysitter's Club fan.
I am, yeah. Yeah, do you have a favorite character?
I have Claudia Kishi.
And why do you like Claudia?
I like her because she does lots of art, and I like drawing too.
Yeah, Claudia she's very artistic, and she expresses herself with wild colors, and sometimes she dresses in themes or wears cool earrings. So, yeah, she also really likes junk food.
Oh, well, who
Yeah.
doesn't?
Yeah, great.
All right, Isabella, how about you?
I really like this fantasy series. I've only read the first book, but I want to read the rest. The first book is called Unenchanted, and it's about this girl, and she's related to the Grimm brothers. She has to complete all the fairy tale books to be able to break this curse that she has.
Oh.
And she has really bad luck, and it's a really good book.
So this is the first of a series, you said?
Yes. I think there are 4 books.
4 books, okay.
Yeah.
So you definitely, it sounds like you're going to be planning on reading the rest of them then?
Yes.
Yeah. Are you a fairly fast reader? Do you get through a lot of books over the summer?
Yeah, I do.
Gotten through a lot of books so far this summer?
Yeah, probably like 8, maybe.
Wow.
Now I'm going to ask a question I probably should have vetted ahead of time, but are you part of the summer reading club here
Not
at EPL?
yet.
Not yet, so you're going to have to sign up
Pretty soon.
and count that. Are you part of it, Jovan?
Yeah.
Nice.
How many books have you read so far this summer?
Probably 5, 6, 7, somewhere around 10. I don't know.
Well, that's way more books than I've read this summer.
I don't think I've read that many books in the last 2 years, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
No, that's
I read
great.
the Babysitter's Club too.
Yeah.
Babysitter's Club as well? That's good.
Do you have a favorite babysitter?
I like Watson.
Yeah.
That guy.
That's Christy's stepdad.
Okay.
He's a millionaire.
Oh,
And he lives in a mansion.
that sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah, he has a cat named Boo Boo, who's, I think, like 18 pounds.
Super fat. Yeah.
Very fat cat.
And there's a witch next door that casts a spell on the cat.
That makes it fat.
And that's why he's so fat.
I never read any of the Babysitter Club books from like the 80s and 90s,
Yeah.
but I have a feeling there probably wasn't a cat casting spells in those books.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, the cat didn't cast the spell.
Yeah.
The witch cast the spell
Oh,
on the
okay.
cat to make him fat. Yeah, so Bryce, we're going to turn this into a Babysitter's Club
We will.
podcast.
We clearly have to.
I know who to go to for that.
Definitely.
Great.
So thanks again for joining us today because, this whole series we've been interviewing other guests your age and we want to find out, hey, what are the kids into these days? So, Jovan, could you tell us about, you mentioned the Land of Stories book series and how you're a really big fan of it. I also heard too that you're also a really big fan of Dogman.
Sort of, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've read all of them. They're very fast. I read for 1 minute. Next thing I know, I'm on page 176, and I'm like, Jovan, what's wrong with you? You're such a fast reader.
That's a good thing though.
Yeah.
Because I've admitted on this show I'm actually a really slow reader, so it takes me a little bit longer to get through books, but that's actually a really good problem to have if you
Yeah.
want to call it that.
So we've heard about this series, but could you tell us what Dogman is about?
Almost everybody in the world knows about it, but
Okay.
So I'll be honest, on our last episode, our other guest mentioned he was also a fan of Dogman. But for those listeners, though, who maybe they don't really
They
know
just
what... I didn't know what Dogman was last week. So for those of us who, like myself, who aren't really cool enough to know what Dogman is, can you let everybody know?
well, it's about this cop and a dog, and then they get in an explosion, blah, 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 blah. They have to get the dog's head goes on the cop's body, and then it becomes Dogman, and then it just becomes a crazy bunch of things happening. Like, there's a talking cat and a baby talking cat, and there's a robot thing. I don't know. It's just such a crazy series.
So can the police officer with the dog's head, can he talk like a
No.
human? Oh, he can,
Because he's a
because
dog.
he has
He's
a dog head.
and a dog brain. So.
Right. Oh, a dog brain.
But he's still a cop, though.
Yes, and he can hear dog whistles too. So.
Well, that's because he's got dog ears.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this series checks out.
Would you be excited if they were to make a Dogman movie?
Well, I mean, the Dog Man is in one of the books. It's the Dog Man movie. It's in one of the books. They make a movie inside one of the books.
Oh.
But, I mean, it would be kind of weird. I mean, I don't know how they would make a movie with a really cartoony character. He's really, he just looks like a weird dog with something with 2 ears, some stitches on his neck, and then a cop body with some dog paws. That's gonna be hard to make a movie.
That would be pretty
that.
weird.
A lot of expensive special effects going on there.
Yeah.
Well, they did make a Captain Underpants movie by the same author, so maybe they could.
Gaby, we heard that you really like graphic novels. What are some of your favorites?
I like Smile and Sisters.
Those are by Raina Telgemeier, right? And she also does the first few Babysitters Club graphic novels. She's got a really cool style.
So what are those graphic novels about? Because I haven't heard of those before.
Oh, so Sisters is about these 2 sisters, and they don't get along very well, and then they're gonna go to Colorado to visit their cousins. Her cousin barely remembers her, So, and her parents aren't really getting along, so they have to try to get along, the sisters.
Sometimes that can be tough. I have 3 younger brothers myself. I know sometimes growing up that was a little bit hard.
She also does ghosts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does she do the ghosts?
Yeah, she does drama too.
Ghost and Drama. And she has a new one coming out soon
Yes.
called Guts. Yeah. Are you looking forward to that?
Yeah, I read like a little sneak peek at the beginning.
So, Isabella, your mom mentioned to me that you're a really big fan of Harry Potter.
Yes.
So, what is it about those stories that you like so much?
I like that the whole thing is a big mystery and you kind of think something's going to happen, but in the end, it's the complete opposite. And I like how there are so many plot twists. Like at the end, there's this character and you end up finding out that he was best friends with his enemy now, and you find out that his life isn't that perfect.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite character from the series?
Probably Hermione, because she tends to focus a lot on school and she's kind of bossy.
But she's really smart and capable,
Yeah.
right? Like I have been a while since I've read Harry Potter. I only know the first couple. But what I remember of Hermione is that she's very resourceful.
Yeah.
Have you seen all the movies?
I've watched up to the 5th,
Okay.
and probably this summer me and my friend might watch the last 3.
I read Harry Potter 2. I'm on the 4th. We're almost done, but it starts to get scary up to 5th or 6th.
Yeah.
So Dumbledore drinks a poisonous potion, everything like that.
yeah.
And then
I wasn't allowed to
Snape
read, yeah.
kills Dumbledore. He's a Death Eater. Everybody finds that out. Yeah.
I remember when that book came out, and that was like the big
Yeah.
spoiler that
I know.
everybody was trying to avoid.
I know that it's like the Harry Potter little something. If you've read all the books, you can look at this. And then I thought, after I read the first, why don't I just look at this? So, like, and then I'm like, I just look at it. I'm like, I've just spoiled my life with all these things. So I'm like, I can't get this out of my head. Snape's a Death Eater. How was I supposed to know that?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Sometimes my friends spoil the books, and I'm like, no, why did you tell me?
That could be really hard.
Yeah.
Like,
My mom almost screamed at me last night for telling her about.
sometimes it can be fun, even if you know what's going to happen, to find out how it gets there.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, if you've only read the first and you know what's going to happen later, you think, what? This isn't the book I read.
Yeah.
This isn't possible. But then you read the rest.
I like to reread the books too, because then you find out more about it.
Oh, like little details
Yeah.
that you might have missed or not known the significance of the first
Yeah.
time.
So have you read all the books then?
Yes.
Have you also read, is it the play, The Cursed Child?
Yeah, I have all the books that have come out.
Jovan, what kind of music do you like to listen to?
Sunflower, Post Malone, Elevate.
Okay, by DJ Khalil.
I like that song. From Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
It's on that soundtrack. I remember when that movie first came out, I think it was like around Christmas.
2016.
Yeah.
Around that.
Yeah, it's been out for a little bit now. And I remember that song plays during the end credits of that
Are you
movie.
going to spoil this for me, Bryce?
I
Because I haven't seen
I
this
am not
movie.
spoiling the movie for you.
I haven't seen it yet.
No,
Okay.
we talked about how bad spoilers can be,
Right.
but
Uncle is the Prowler.
Oh, okay. I don't even know enough to know. So this song plays.
this song plays during the end credits
Okay.
of the movie.
And then Sunflower plays at the beginning.
I noticed too you mentioned Post Malone in there. Big fan?
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite song?
Probably just those 2 songs are my favorites, I guess.
And are there songs that you like to just rock out and dance to?
So. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't really dance that much to music. I mostly sing much to music.
Okay.
I'm different. I don't dance. I sing more than dancing.
Right.
So
Right. And we heard that your dad is in a band.
Yeah.
So there's probably lots of music in your house.
Do you play any instruments at all, or would you like to play any instruments?
probably guitar.
Guitar? Yeah, that's definitely the coolest instrument anyway.
I love when Miles gets chased through the headway.
Oh,
at
in
the top.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, when he gets chased from the security. And he's like, his voice is like in his head. So he says, Morales, I know you snuck out last night. Play dumb. He's like, who's Morales? His brain says, not that dumb. And then he's like, okay. Runs through the pedway. And then he's getting chased, and it's really funny.
That's a pretty good movie. Have you seen the new Spider-Man movie?
Which one?
Far From Home?
to see Homecoming, and then I'm going to see
Oh,
Far
okay.
From Home.
Both are really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw Far From Home a couple of days ago, and the end spoiler scene it's pretty wild when you see it.
We are dangerously close to spoiling more movies.
We won't spoil any more movies. I didn't
Iron
reveal
Man takes
anything.
away his suit.
So, Gaby, what kind of music do you like?
I really don't remember. I just listen to any
You just listen to whatever's
I
on?
don't care.
That's a really good way, though, to, develop a whole bunch of different interests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isabella, how about you?
It's really whatever my parents listen to or that's on the radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What type of music is normally on the radio when you guys are maybe driving around?
Mostly pop.
Pop?
And overplayed music.
Yeah.
What do you mean by overplayed music?
I don't know.
Like,
Like
in-
music
Just-
I've been heard so many
Like
times.
in the car,
Oh,
we turn
gotcha.
on the radio and there's a song playing and we're like, turn it off. It's too much.
Yeah.
And they probably just like turn it up a little bit. Isabella, is there anything that's really popular that you're maybe just not into? Like maybe your friends are really into something and you're just like, I don't really get it.
You're probably going to get mad at me, but superheroes, I'm not really into that.
No?
Nope.
That's all right. That's got to be kind of, I don't want to say it's frustrating, but superheroes are everywhere. Like most of the big movies, of course, all involve superheroes and a lot of TV shows. So yeah, I can definitely understand that. Do you think it's just too much of it out there?
I think it's just a little annoying when people spoil it and I just don't get it.
Have you tried watching any of them at all and you're just like, not for me?
Maybe it's that I don't like it because I haven't watched them, but my friend had me watch a little bit of Spider-Man Homecoming, and it's pretty good. I kind of want to finish it now.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
So is there something maybe that you're really into though that your friends are like, I don't like this?
One or two of my friends are into Harry Potter like me, but most of them don't really care for it.
Same with you?
Yeah.
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 I'm like, I love Harry Potter. My friend's like, more like Harry Pooper. And I'm like, what? That's so rude and offensive
Yeah.
to me.
It is.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, I love Harry Potter. It's such magic. And then finally, someone's like, I like Harry Potter. Finally, like, one person in my class that likes Harry Potter.
Yeah,
I'm not
it's
kidding.
so funny.
There's only
when-
like 2 people in my class that like Harry Potter. It's so weird.
Yeah, I just assumed all kids like Harry Potter.
I know, and then everybody's like, it's such a terrible, it's just so boring. And then I'm like, how dare you?
It's like as you say, Bryce, you thought everyone would be into it, so we're learning through these episodes. It's very strange to me to think that we're in like a post Harry Potter world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because these segments make me feel old, but
do.
A Harry Potter video game.
oh, a Harry
Yeah.
Potter video game?
Yeah.
Wizards Unite.
I want to get that one. I have Hogwarts Mystery, though.
Oh, I have Wizards Unite.
Cool.
Could you tell us about Hogwarts Mystery? Because
Yeah.
that sounds cool.
So pretty much you're this girl, and it's kind of a mystery because your older brother has this secret, and you go to Hogwarts, and you kind of interact with people. It's really fun.
So are you trying to solve that, or are there like little quests that
Yeah,
you do?
it's kind of like these side quests, and then once you have like all the information, you figure it out.
Yeah, it's fun.
Do you have a favorite Harry Potter character, Gaby?
I like Hermione too.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Jovan? Do you?
Hedwig.
Yeah.
So, general question for everybody.
We've talked about superhero movies.
We've lots of superhero movies. So, something other than superheroes. Isabella, what kind of movies do you like? And have you seen any really good movies lately that you could recommend?
Yeah, I like fantasy movies with like a plot twist. So like Maleficent, it's really funny, and it's cool how in the end she's not the bad guy. I like it.
And Into the Woods.
And
is,
Into
like,
the
mixed
Woods,
up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Into the Woods, is that the musical?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of really big famous people in that movie. I haven't seen it yet, though.
I like that one because it brings together a lot of characters in that, but just different characters all interacting with each other.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Gabby, is there any other types of movies that you like?
I like animated movies.
Okay. What was the last animated movie that you watched?
I think it was Captain Underpants.
Yeah? Did you think it was funny?
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't watched it yet, but I saw some trailers for it, and it looks pretty funny, though. It looks like something like when I was a kid, I would have thought that Captain Underpants was like the greatest thing of all time.
Yeah. I was just talking yesterday with some people about how it's always interesting because there's just something really funny about underpants.
There really is. Just even saying underpants.
Yeah, I think we could say it one more time.
Yeah.
Underpants.
Yeah.
Bryce and I have been looking forward to talking about animated movies for a very long time, and we just never get around to scheduling it. So, Gaby, maybe when we do, we'll have to have you come back on the podcast so we can talk about animated movies.
Give us your picks for the best animated movies, maybe. Jovan, how about you? Besides superhero movie.
I'm begging you, Hollywood, make a movie of Land of Stories.
My favorite movie would be the one that I've been watching most. Like, we did see Mary Poppins Returns a few days ago, and then probably Secret Life of Pets too. That's the one that I saw.
How were both those movies?
Well, they were good. I mean, Mary Poppins Returns is like, they're actually way older. So, you know, the sister and brother, the dad gets married and has kids of his own. He has 3 kids, but the mom dies. He has to take on all these kids on his own, and then all the kids, they do crazy stuff. Like, it's like such a funny movie. There's this guy that says, if you don't bring me this amount of money, because he's not paying the right amount for his house, your house is knocked down and you're going somewhere else. So he has to pay, and then there's this, not really coupon, but some sort of piece of paper that says that he can keep his house, this special piece of paper, and then he finds it, he gives it to the guy, and then the guy says you have to have a signature, but the signature's gone. So, and
You have to look for it.
yeah, they have to look for it, and then the old governor or mayor is there, and then he's like, you don't actually need a signature for it, so they get to keep their house.
But
At the
Yeah,
end.
the guy's a bad guy.
Yeah.
at the end.
yeah,
And
because he's like, he was
Trying
in
to
the-
knock down the house. He's trying to make him lose his house.
Yeah, because the guy in the bank, he had the signature paper, but he just threw in the fire because he didn't care.
Oh.
Oh, I have to watch this movie.
Yeah, this
It
is a
sounds
lot
really
of
good.
intrigue.
I
in it.
know. I've seen the first Mary Poppins movie,
Yeah.
but not this one.
So in this one, the first one has music and songs. Does this one have songs
Yes.
too? Okay. Okay, well, now I'm in because I like a good musical.
I saw this video online where there's that really famous scene in the trailer where Mary Poppins falls into the bathtub.
Yeah, that's my favorite part.
Yeah.
There's this really cool video on YouTube where it shows them making it, and I first thought it was just animated, but no, they actually built a prop where she actually goes into a bathtub and there was this reverse water slide and took her down. So you should definitely try and find that if you haven't seen it yet. It's really neat.
Cool. Well, we're almost out of time,
Yeah.
so we've just got our quick roundtable questions. So let's start with Gaby.
Yeah.
If you could meet anyone in the world, who would it be?
I think it would be Emma Watson
Who of course plays Hermione.
Yeah, and why would you like to meet her?
because she's really cool and she is my favorite character in Harry Potter.
Nice.
She's very cool.
Yeah.
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 Isabella, how about you?
Probably Malala, the one that won the Nobel Peace Prize, because it would be interesting to hear more about her story.
Absolutely.
That's a great answer.
Yeah.
Have you read her book at all?
Yeah, I've read the kid version.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Cool.
Jovan, how about you?
Well, I don't know if this counts, but a sloth could be anyone.
Yeah. That would be cool. I don't know if they have sloths at the zoo.
No.
I'm seeing that they do.
Oh,
We're
okay.
doing some fact checking
Yes.
off camera. Yeah, that would be cool.
Probably Chris Colfer, the one that does Land of Stories, or
Oh.
a soccer star of some sort.
Well, meeting a sloth would be awesome.
I mean, they're my favorite animal. They just sleep, and that's what I'm like.
Yeah, they're so lazy.
I'm like that on the weekends myself. So, all right. So let's say you could go anywhere in the world at all for summer vacation. Where would you like to go, Gaby? Let's start with you.
Hawaii.
Hawaii. So why would you like to go there?
Because it's really warm there and you can go swimming and snorkeling and you can like see turtles and animals.
Yeah, I love Hawaii too.
Yeah.
It's a good.
I've
place.
never been, so I think that would
never
be.
been either.
Yeah, I think that would be a
I
fun
wanna
place
go.
to go.
All right, Isabella, how about you?
I would probably go to Penticton in BC. We go there almost every summer, and I actually like it more than Mexico because it's super hot and you can just lie on the beach. And I love that feeling when you're just lying there and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't take it anymore, and you just run into the water. It's my favorite part.
Is Penticton the place with Ogopogo?
Yes.
Okay. And have you had any Ogopogo sightings when you've been there?
There's this one time where I was in the lake and there was this weird shadow on the ground and we were all freaking out. It was really funny.
It was just me.
Yeah.
That's cool. When I was growing up, our cottage in Quebec was on a lake that had a lake monster itself, and it was Memfrey, who's not as well known as Ogopogo, but yeah, it's kind of scary when you think about like you might be swimming around with a lake monster.
Yeah. The Loch Ness Monster. My friend thinks that, you know how people say dinosaurs are extinct?
Mm-hmm.
And I know how people say Leoplerodon, but it's a Liopleurodon. And so my friend thinks it's a Liopleurodon that's actually the Loch Ness Monster because it looks exactly like Liopleurodon. And I'm like, I'm not sure if I believe you. I don't think dinosaurs are alive. In some way I do, and in some way I don't. And then it's like Ogopogo. And then we went to a pizza place, and then there's a sign that says Beware Ogopogo. And yeah.
That stuff's fun, though, just seeing, like, it's
Yeah.
fun to think, like, oh, really, is there something, just because all those lakes are so deep, you never know what's down there. So is there a place where you would love to go, Jovan, for summer vacation?
Probably New York.
New York, yeah. So what would you like to do in New York? Because you brought in a hat that you're not wearing right now, but let everybody know who's listening what your favorite baseball team is.
New York Yankees. That's why I'd like to go there for summer vacation.
Yeah.
Cool. Great.
So thank you so much for joining us today. This was really fun.
Yeah, I know that Bryce and I both learned a lot.
We did. A lot about Dogman.
Yep.
Not spoiling movies.
Yeah.
And what
Fairy
else?
tales.
Fairy tales.
And fantasy.
Always, yeah.
So,
And Emma Watson's cool. So
Yeah.
thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Caroline, those are fantastic.
It was so much fun to do. I'm really glad we had the chance to sit down with these kids and find out what they're interested in.
Yeah, and the one line that I teased at the very beginning where Luka said, hit him in the wiener, I sat in a meeting and was like, hey, is it okay for us to use this line on the show? Work can be so funny sometimes.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that when we started this podcast, you would have had to bring that up in a meeting. I also
Not at
liked, I think the line about, is there anyone you want to say hello to? No.
Yeah, we're good.
No, we're fine. I just love it.
They were all business, both Ofelia and Luka in that interview.
Yeah. So, but it was great to have all 5 of the kids that we talked to in today's interviews, and we just really want to thank them and thank their parents for coordinating and getting them here and being part of Overdue Finds.
Yeah, of course, Melanie St. Ange, Diego Ibarra, Karen Chidiak, and Masha Ribich. Big thanks to them for, of course, bringing their kids in the studio. And one thing I also wanted to quickly touch on, Jovan mentioned when he's talking about Harry Potter, all I can think of now is Harry Pooper. So thank you very much.
Yeah, great. So we are happy to let everyone know that we'll be releasing a special bonus episode of Overdue Finds next Friday, August 23rd.
Yeah, we ended up recording 4 sets of interviews for this episode, so we're going to be sharing the other 2 interviews with you next week. So the episodes that you're going to be hearing next week feature kids aged 10 through 13, and they're going to be sharing their very own opinionated thoughts on their favorite books, games, and music. We had some great responses in those interviews, and I can't wait to share those with you next week.
Yeah. And then after that bonus episode, we'll be back on Friday, August 30th, where we'll be interviewing former WWE wrestler turned concussion research expert, Dr. Chris Nowinski, about his upcoming Forward Thinking Speaker Series event with us on September 17th.
Yeah, and don't forget that tickets for his presentation called Solving the Concussion Crisis are now available at epl.ca/speaker series for just $10. I'm super excited about that event, and even more excited that we're actually going to get to talk with him. So we'll have tons of questions about concussions in sports, and I might ask him a few wrestling-related questions while we're in there. But
I would. It would be a wasted opportunity if you didn't.
it would, yes.
Yeah. So we hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you haven't yet done so, we encourage you to hit the subscribe button so you automatically get new episodes. Please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and tell a friend about the show.
Yeah, don't forget that we'll have a link to all the great recommendations from our special guests today in our show notes. And if you have any questions for Dr. Chris Nowinski that you would like us to ask in our next episode, please email us at podcast@epl.ca or hit us up on Twitter by using the hashtag EPL Overdue Finds. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.